Mr. Chair, we are live.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the March 2018 meeting of the New York State Joint Commission on Public Ethics. Let's get started. Item 2 on the agenda, approval of the minutes behind attachment A. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Commissioner McAuliffe.
Commissioner.
Second. Commissioner Deering, second.
Second.
Commissioner Deering.
All in favor?
New York City, unanimous.
Albany, unanimous.
Unanimous.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. Item 3, report from staff. Seth?
Yes, Mr. Chair. A number of items. First of all, our annual report it will be due or will be coming out sometime around the week of April 9th. It's being drafted. We're gathering statistics and finalizing those. Obviously, prior to release, we're going to circulate a draft to commissioners for comments and edits. So there's time to incorporate those changes prior to its release. So that should be coming to you in a form shortly. Since our last meeting, we've published a procurement lobbying guide, which is a very easy, actually very well written, clearly defined guide on engaging in procurement lobbying in New York State. A couple of interesting outreach opportunities that the Commission has had. We've had 2 international groups come and meet with us. I have Keith here. Maybe, Keith, you can just describe who you met with, a group from South Africa that came in.
Yes, we met with a delegation of legislators and ethics officials from the Gauteng province of South Africa, the Republic of South Africa. So Martin and I met with that group last week, and I think they came away from our conversation much more enlightened about not only the state's ethics enforcement system, but the framework of a system that they will try to now recreate back home. So we've got global reach extending from our offices here.
And to extend on that, through the Department of State, their Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs, Keith, Martin, and I met with a mixed group from the Middle East, including delegates from Tunisia, Egypt, Iraq, and the Palestinian territories. Having a similar interface with them, answering questions, was part of a global outreach program the Department of State is conducting. It's their regional project for Near East and North Africa. And we also met with those individuals this past week. So it was actually fascinating, and the questions that they asked were really, right on the money. So it was a very good meeting. There have been ethics. We have another newsletter that's being prepared right now as well to go out, and that's where we stand in terms of outreach update. I can go to the next item, Mr. Chair, which is the new website.
You do.
Before I go into that, and we have a website that will be live, our new website that will be next week. This is a project that's been worked on by staff. I particularly really kudos and compliments and just praise to Walt McClure, our Director of Communications, and Marlena Diaz, who's here with us as well, our Assistant Director. They've been working on this project now for quite some time and just do incredibly good work. We're going to do a reveal today on that website. I just might add, with respect to staff, that their work was outstanding, and that's really representative of the entire JCOPE staff, from our from analysts, from filing specialists, administrative staff. That's sort of what I know that the commissioners and certainly I've learned to expect. That's the high quality is the norm. But I'm going to let Walt and Marlena take over and walk you through our new user-friendly, public-friendly website. So, Walt, why don't you do it?
That actually is here. I'm just going to grab one of these so people can hear me over here. Yes, user-friendly is the key to this. as you all know, this has been an ongoing project for some time, and particularly this piece of it has been the better part of a year in getting all of this together. But one of the keys to this was we wanted to provide a cleaner, clearer, more modern, more user-friendly system than we had now. One of the big improvements that we have made is we made an effort to provide more context in subject areas where maybe there wasn't any before. And I'll show you as we go along what you'll see with that, as well as the fact of there's a better, we provided some better search functioning, particularly with regard to the advisory opinion. So let's start here. This is the home page, and what we've done on this and many of the other pages, because you'll see we've got the tabs across the top, and if you can just scroll down a little bit, Kate, we've given you a way to get to pretty much all of our core functions right off the bat. We've got places, if you click on any of these, it'll take you to the pages that are relative to those. And if you can scroll down a little bit further, you can go right to advisory opinions, information on the laws, and scroll down just a little bit. And you can also get right into investigations stuff from there to make any to report misconduct. The idea is, like as we said, it's organized by core functions and the way to get to everything from one place. If we can go back up to the top, and one thing I want to point out, our current website, we have all of these tabs up here, but you can't click on any of those tabs directly to get anywhere. You can only go to the drop-down menus. But now you'll be able to click on each of these. So, and click on About. And this is going to provide an overview about the commission, who we are, what our core functions are, and ways to get into some of these other core functions. One of the interesting things, if you can click on this, we'll click on the Resource Center here. What we did is some of the most commonly searched areas, you can go right to that. We've got different little tiles that will lead you directly to each of the pages that you're looking for to get that information. And if we can go back up to the main About page. And if you can go down, I want to point out something. So we've got, as you can see here, we've got information about the jurisdiction, the commissioners. All of your bios are on here, whether you want them or not. Commission meetings and other information. I just want to click on the Commission Meetings tab and show you what we've done there. So this page is going to be everything related to the meetings. You can get to the live stream. You can get to information about our archives. We've got a list of the schedules. We'll have the last meeting would be posted on here, and some other information about meeting guidelines, commissioners, and meeting agendas. But one of the most interesting things, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, Kate, click View Archived Meetings. We have built a brand new YouTube page that will house all of this information. So all of the videos of all of our meetings, ethics forums, some trainings, any of the hearings we've had, the lobbying hearings we've had, it's all going to be there in a little bit more organized fashion than we've had it before.
Any chance of any of that going viral? I just don't know.
You know, you never know. You never know.
Okay.
All right.
Rookie card.
Ed Marino, rookie card. Yeah. Let's go back to the, and I want to point out, let's go to the ethics page here. Click on the main landing page first. This is going to take you to everything you want to know about the laws, an overview again of everything. And as you scroll down, this is one thing we're particularly proud of, that we have all of these areas, the major ethics topic areas, gifts, conflicts of interest, honoraria. We have created individual new pages for those that will provide you with some more context about what it's about. If we can, let's go back up, Kate. Just click on the gifts page. So this page is everything that you want to know about gifts, and this is what's called a navigator page, and allows you see down the left-hand side is a table of contents. So it can give you direct access to any of the subject areas you're looking for, or you can scroll through the whole thing and find out what you want. But this is going to tell you what's a gift, what's not a gift, what's covered, what's prohibited, information about widely attended events, anything you might want. And we've also, on all of these pages, provided other informational resources. So the gift regs, ethics reminders, or other information that we've put out that has to do with gifts, you can find there, as well as contact information if you need to learn more. Let me go back up to the top if we can. the top of all the way to the top. Let's go to, I want to kind of direct you to the laws section. This page, again, we've laid everything out, all of laws regarding us, laws regarding the LEC, all of the different ethics laws, lobbying laws, and commission regulations. But one of the interesting other things we've done, if you can scroll down a little further, click on this bit for view advisory opinions. We have created one landing page with information about advisory opinions. We've separated them, though, into lobbying and ethics opinions to make it a little easier to search. And if you can click on the view ethics opinions page, this is what you will get when you get there, information about searching. And when you scroll down, you'll see this. All of the advisory opinions listed in chronological order. And on the left-hand side, we have filters for each of the agencies, us and our predecessors, who have put out these opinions, and then different filters, again, related to the ethics topics of interest. And you can, if you want to do a search of a particular advisory opinion, this will make it easier. For instance, if you click on post-employment restrictions, you get all of our opinions that refer to post-employment restrictions. And again, if you want post-employment with 2-year bar, you can click on that as well, and it will further refine your search. And there's also the ability to search by keywords. We've actually added a list of the keywords that we had used when we were putting the advisory opinions together. Let's go to the lobbying page. Comes right on top. Again, a landing page that tells you everything about lobbying, an overview of what it is, what's some of the disclosure rules, etc. But something else we've done on this is we've kind of broken it down by your role in the lobbying process. So if you, am I a lobbyist? I don't know. I do know. You can check on that and click on that page, and it will take you to everything you need to know about a lobbyist. Go ahead and click that. So the definition of the lobbyist, again, all the information is down the left-hand side. An important function of this page that we're also very excited about is we've created something here called the Guide to Lobbying Reporting. What we have done is taking all of the instructions and all the information about lobbying and put it into one kind of volume of its own so you can find everything together. But what we've also done is we've separated out so you can look at a particular chapter of that book. So you can click, if you know I'm coming, okay, I've got to find out information about filings, I can click on that and just get that chapter. That way you can share it with colleagues, you can print it out and have a copy of it at your desk, everything you need to know right away. Let's go to the financial disclosure page. There's a lot of information, a lot of scroll. And financial disclosure, again, everything you need to know about FDS, what is it, who has to file, and options for going in to file electronically, whether you're a state employee, a SUNY employee, or you're somebody who files by paper. And all of your instructions and your information is on there as well. A couple more things I want to show. Our investigations page. And you'll notice, too, on this every main page, all of the pages, you'll see a link that says report misconduct and our tips line, which is also our hotline for all of our contact information. From every page, if you click on that link, it will take you to the report misconduct page, which will give you the information if you need to file a tip or file a complaint or find out more information just about what it is that we do, what fits under our jurisdiction in terms of investigations. You can get all of that information right from there. And we've also provided, we've provided some other information about other enforcement entities who you may want to look at. And last but not least, my baby, the Media Center. We've created this, so this is the information that will have what the Communications and Public Information Office does, information about record requests, what information is considered publicly available information, and if you scroll down further, the press room, all of our reports and publications, and the commission meetings. But something else that we've added to this is events. If you click on that, essentially this will be an event calendar when you can come here to know when the next commission meeting is, when the next ethics forum will be, anything like that. So that's basically the 10,000-foot view on this. We'll be notifying some of the stakeholders by some special e-blasts, just to give them a heads up about this coming, that we're launching this next week, and some of the issues, some of the pieces that we think will be affecting them the most. That'll be going out shortly. And any questions? Thank you. But I really, actually, as Seth said, I have to applaud, well, Kate here, who has been, of our education team, who's been with us from the beginning, sort of helping us, plot some of this out and finding, dotting I's and crossing the T's. And you can't see her over in the corner, but my assistant director of communications, Marlena Diaz, who has done yeoman's work on this. This would not look like this if it was not for Marlena. This is something that we were given the framework and figure out how to go from there, and she's really found the best ways to take all these pages and put the content in a clear, modern, colorful way to make it easier for all of you to find. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to everyone for that.
I'll go to tab, just mention, tab B, legislative proposals. These are not up for a vote or for action. I thought it wise to get some legislative proposals that the staff has drafted to the commissioners to start considering. They are, once again, we certainly bring these up at a later time, hopefully, well before the end of the legislative year, the legislative session. There are three proposals. Just briefly, one of them would amend the lobbying law, requiring the filing of by lobbyists, disclosing campaign contributions and political consulting activities. We have a pardon?
Fundraising, not the contribution.
Fundraising activities. Excuse me, not contributions. They're fundraising activities. Lobbyists who can engage in fundraising. We have a proposal that would include accomplice liability as in the public office law to bring in accomplices. I note that proposal was introduced last year by Assemblyman Buchwald in the Assembly as A7162. So that bill is live in the Assembly, but it's something that staff is bringing to the Commission's attention again for further discussion at a later date. And finally, we have a proposal that would provide for a potential debarment of a lobbyist or client who files false statements and other penalties associated therewith, to put a little more teeth into the lobbying laws. We have similar proposals that are still available on our website from 2017. In fact, three proposals were introduced, and I think I pointed this out last year, by the Assembly. A7161, which dealt with using a straw man to disclose or to hide behind when disclosing sources of funding, and A7163, which raises from an A misdemeanor to an E felony, knowing and intentionally filing a false lobbying statement. Those were all three bills that I had mentioned. 7161, 62, and 63 were introduced by Assemblyman Buchwald in the Assembly. Between now and whenever the Commission is ready, staff is ready to certainly discuss and see if there's any interest in moving forward on these or any other proposals. For the moment, we're simply identifying them as staff drafts. There's no Commission imprimatur given to those, and they'll be available for comment once again on our website, but identified once again as staff proposals, along with those from 2017, which are still out there. One last matter.
Just a question.
Sure.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I guess I'm new to this, so that means this will be scheduled as an agenda item for commission discussion in a public hearing at some point?
Well, I'm not sure if you mean if there is an interest in the Commission moving forward on this. By all means, this would only get a Commission approval if the commissioners vote to endorse it as a commission proposal. But we would be bringing that back if there's a interest in the commission to seeing it put out that way. So we will put it on an agenda, and if you'd like to vote or prove it, criticize it, or whatever, that'll be out there well before June.
Okay, fine. So I'll withhold any comments now, but I hope there is a commission discussion before they're advanced.
It's up to you. By all means, we anticipate that. This is why I just wanted to make sure that we got the drafts out so you could start looking at those and develop whatever comments or criticisms that you might have.
Right. Okay, thank you.
One last matter, and I'll let Monica go. Monica has a brief report to make on a matter, so I'll let Monica shoot with that.
I just wanted to report to the commission that the plaintiff in the litigation, Catherine Webb versus Jacob, a former employee who claimed gender discrimination and retaliation under federal and state civil rights laws, has voluntarily dismissed her case. The parties filed a stipulation in order of discontinuance with prejudice on March 7th. The case is terminated. If any commissioners have any questions, you can contact me after the meeting.
Okay, item 4, new and other business behind attachment C.
That's right, Chair. This is just a proposed meeting schedule for the latter half of this year. There's no vote required on this. If the commissioners can look it over and reach back to us, we've tried to accommodate religious holidays. In the past, there's been a sort of a hiatus of sorts during the summer. We're doing that in August, but we are still able to have our meeting once within a bi-monthly reporting period. So we're still able to accommodate that by having a meeting in late July and then sometime in September before the High Holy Days come into effect in September. So if there are any comments, please reach back to Catherine, who's helped Catherine Santandrea, who's the special assistant and secretary to the board, and try to coordinate it. But these are the dates that we've tried to come up with, trying to keep the meetings on Tuesday except for September.
Okay, thank you. Before we move into executive session, I'd like to remind everyone that no conclusions can be or ever should be drawn from the Commission's silence when it is asked whether an investigation is possible, commenced, or finished. To divulge such information is a crime. The Commission has not responded to questions when it has been actively conducting investigations or when federal prosecutors have asked it to stand down, meaning step aside in investigating matters until criminal trials and appeals arising out of trials have concluded. In short, silence in the face of these questions is mandated by law, but does not indicate action or inaction on the part of the Commission. No conclusion should be inferred by the Commission's silence. Okay, we're at item 5. I need a motion, please, to enter into executive session.
We'll move.
Commissioner
Thank
McAuliffe
you.
has moved.
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Mack.
Thank you. All in favor? All in favor?
Unanimous in Albany.
New York City, all.
WebEx is unanimous.
Okay.
Stand by.
Is that Martin sitting down there?
Yeah, down by that.
We're back.
And a happy Easter.
And absolutely.
We're back in check. We're back.
Are we good?
You're live.
Okay. So in executive session, we approved 3 settlement agreements. We commenced 3 substantial basis investigations, authorized steps in several investigative matters, and discussed several pending matters. At this point, I need a motion, please, to adjourn the public meeting.
Commissioner Knox.
Thank you. So moved. seconded. Commissioner Knox, all in favor?
New York City.
Hold, please.
You have enough actually to adjourn, since we can't see.
Yes.
Okay, now we're good. Okay, we are adjourned. See you, everybody, next month. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.